Hey, what's going on everybody? I want to make this video to go over the new updates to the Mystic Quest Rando as of patch 1.5.01. I was going to make this video ahead of time to line up with the 1.5.00 update, but life happened. What are you going to do? Thankfully, not much has changed between the 1.5.00 and 0.01 updates, so I won't have to go over too much extra, just a little quality of life things and some sprite updates. First up for changes, you'll notice that there have been some updates made to the game changes section itself. First up, a few notes have been added to this new section at the bottom of the page. In order, the bug fixes blurb has been bumped up to here, and there's a note and a few links about the MSU1 support, which I'd mentioned in a previous video. Just as a quick reminder, every time you generate an FFmpQR seed, that seed has been automatically patched to be MSU1 compatible, so if you're familiar with running MSU1 patches, you don't have to worry about repatching a seed you generate, it's already done for you. There's also a note about Archipelago compatibility, which I'll get into the nitty-gritty of that later. It's a bit in-depth and I don't want to just dig right into it right now. The exit spell has had functionality added to it that will allow players to teleport back to the level forest's original location when cast in the overworld. You will still need a white charge to do this, however, it is infinitely faster than trying to walk all the way back to Foresta, where you first started your seed. This function also works on overworld and dungeon shuffle. You just won't go to the level forest itself, you'll go to wherever is in the level forest location on the overworld map. Pazuzu will now only show up in one floor in his tower instead of all of them at once at first. This will let you skip having to talk to him initially and then having him warp, so you won't have to worry about warp RNG, and where he is where he is. It's tied to the seed location. Once you find him, you can trap him, done and done, saving a bit of time there. There's a new game info screen that's been added to the randomizer in the main menu, which will tell players everything they need to know about their seed that they've generated. If you've generated a shard hunt seed, it'll tell you how many shards you need if you've set it to random. If you have set your companions to quest mode to level them up, it'll tell you what quests are needed. If you've shuffled their spells, it'll tell you what spells they'll get and at what level. Speaking of, companions have been randomized. So this is a brand new feature and I want to go ahead and spend some time to go over it. This section allows you to completely change how companions work in your seed. Previously, if you wanted to level up your companion between phase 1 and phase 2, you would have to go to their vanilla location where they have a major story beat, get an item check, then find another partner, swap them out of your party, and then go back to them and pick them up at the level 2 location. You can keep that. That is still an option. However, there are new settings that make it to where you can level up your partners via quest or have them level up with you. So Ben's level be the same the whole time. Ben's level +5, Ben's level +10. The questing system gives you objectives. You can check those objectives in the game info screen, and how that works is essentially every companion will get 4 quests. If you do regular quests, they'll be pretty simple. If you do quest expanded, there might be some obscure things in there like get 40 refreshers in your inventory to level up Phoebe a phase. This new questing system also lets you level up your companions to even higher thresholds than they were allowed to go in the vanilla game. So, to compensate for that, their stats have been modified for their highest levels. Originally, Phoebe capped out at 99 magic on her phase 2. If you do all 4 of Phoebe's quests, her magic will cap out at 104, making her even more of a powerhouse. But that's going to take some time. So do you sacrifice the speed in a race to get an even more powerful companion and maybe have an easier Dark King fight, or do you risk it for the biscuit and go in with a level 2 Phoebe? These are the options. You can also now pick a starting companion. So if you want to start with Ruben, if you want to start with Kaylee, if you want to start with Phoebe, you have that option. There's also the option to randomize your starting companion or random plus none. So if you don't want a starting companion, you want to start off like the vanilla game, you can have that option, or leave it to RNG. Next, we have the location toggle. This alters where you can find your party members. You can keep them vanilla, or you can shuffle them, extended. What this means is you can have your companion shuffled between the spots that you would normally find them in, Or you can expand that shuffling to include temples. So instead of finding Tristram in the Sand Temple, you might find Tristram hanging out in Ruben's house. Or Phoebe might not be in the Libra Temple. She might be in the Cage Temple. That kind of stuff. Really cool option. A companion piece to this option has been added for Kaylee's mom specifically. If Kaylee's location is shuffled, you don't want to have a seed where you have to find Kaylee, then hand her the tree with her, then run to the level forest, etc., do her whole leveling up chain for her checks. Instead, you can give that responsibility to Kaylee's mom, who will always be located in their house. Doing this will allow you to fight the Minotaur with any companion, and it'll allow you to just go ahead and hand in the elixir to her mom in the bed where Kaylee would normally be to perform that check. Next, we have the spellbook type changes. You can keep your spellbook on vanilla, and everybody will have the same spells that they get at their normal points in the game. Or you can do spellbook extended. What this will do is add sensible spells to your partner companions that they probably should have had in the base game, but didn't. So for instance, Tristram, an expanded spellbook, will get Quake and Exit. Quake is still trash, but Exit is a godsend. It'll allow you to move around quickly without finding it yourself, but the trade-off is you have Tristram in your party. So it adds a little bit more complexity to the party system. If you want to get even crazier with it, you can shuffle your companion spells. So you can shuffle what level they learn them at and what spells they get. And you can make this safe, or you can go chaos with it and make it to where maybe one of your partners only gets one spell and another one gets 8. They could all be garbage, but that's up to RNG. Again, read your tooltips for more in-depth explanations of all of these changes if you forget after watching this video. Lastly, about the spellbook shuffle. Regardless of how you shuffle your partner's spells, all of them will still have the access to the life spell. That way no one gets soft lock or locked out of, a no-win situation. Up next, we have changes to the enemy section of the randomizer. We've added refinement to the enemizer section. So before, if you turned on the enemizer, it was kind of all or nothing, and everybody was randomized or everybody wasn't randomized. Now you can specify groups to be randomized. We can't do it by individual group quite yet, but you can do just mobs. So like brownies, scorpions, centaurs, etc. You can do mobs plus bosses. So, the regular jobbers you fight plus Medusa, plus Snow Crab, plus Pazuzu. Or you can enemize everything all the way up to Dark King. That's how that works. Up last, we have the Archipelagos section. Now, this will be its own little spot on the page. You access it on the sandwich menu on the left-hand side. If you need help with that, we have an AP room and a new player room guide for Archipelagos stuff. So, not going to go into that too in depth. Again, the best way to get help with any of this is to join the Discord. So on that sandwich button, you'll see an option that says Discord. You'll get an invite to join the Mystic Quest Randomizer community Discord. I highly recommend it. There's a ton of really smart individuals in there and a lot of helpful folk who will be able to give you answers to some of the questions that I might not have been able to answer in this video. But hopefully this high-end overview gets you excited. I know I'm excited. I love all this new stuff that's been added to the randomizer, and I can't wait to get out there and start playing some more of it. Until the next set of major patches, that's going to be it from me. But again, I'm going to try to do patch coverage videos. So until next time, guys, I'll see you then. Take it easy.